Good evening, Isaac.
Good evening, Ryan. How are you, sir?
Doing well, man. I was realizing that my phone wasn't on mute as all these live video triggers were going off. I was like, "Oh man, my phone is going off like crazy." So,
yeah, that's a normal gig. We're kicking into all the channels. We're hoping to get some. Look, we already got one comment. Stuart's already with us, so we're starting strong here, folks. We're starting strong.
Very cool. So this is the game chat. We are going to be talking about games tonight, and we actually have a guest with us, which we're super excited about. So, Kristi B, how are you?
I am doing fantastic, and also super, super happy to see you guys.
Yeah. It's we kind of, I don't know. There's something about this. I've done podcasts for 12 or 13 years now, and like I actually enjoy this a little more. So plus I don't have to edit it, which is nice. So
seat of our pants.
Yeah. So Kristi, you are the designer of Twin Palms, and we're excited to be talking about Twin Palms later in the show, but we're going to be talking about card games throughout the show. So hopefully you got some nice card games to throw up in the lineup for your top 5.
I might have a few.
All right.
Perfect.
So you got a starting question for us, don't you?
I do, yeah. I thought I'd switch it up since we're going to talk about card games. Let's come over to the side a little bit and talk about TV shows. We've got a chat with some gamers. I know Bob, Derek, and I love to talk about new shows all the time that we're watching. So, what's your favorite thing you're watching now? Maybe new to you, not necessarily a new show, but new to you. Like what's been hitting your TV recently?
Yeah, Kristi, you want to take it first?
Sure. My answer is not really a TV show. I am a huge sports fan. So college basketball, March Madness is right here. Yeah. It has been nonstop. I love that. But I guess as far as a TV show, man, there's been a lot of new ones I've been watching. Probably favorite might be Marvelous Miss Maisel. Second season came out, or third. It's not the first.
Is it the 4th season? Is it 3rd or 4th? I don't know.
Yep.
It's a lot of seasons.
Yeah, I've heard that show's really good. I never got into. I didn't hop on that train yet. I have this weird thing where if it's a couple seasons in already, I almost feel like I missed it, and it's not worth it.
That's really my favorite thing, because then I got lots to watch. Like I love it when
it's
got some time.
Yep.
Got a hello from Mervin, who is actually visiting, so he's watching in the other room. That's hilarious.
We'll build our audience one way or the other. Perfect.
There we go. Exactly. We'll just tell all of our people in our house to watch us.
So Ryan, what have you been watching?
Yeah, so actually I found out, so we have an Apple TV subscription because of Ted Lasso. Sure. I mean, that's the reason why we have it. But Apple TV's got some really good stuff on there, and I actually didn't know. I'd been interested in the After Party, which is about a group that they have an after party at somebody's big mansion after their 15-year reunion, something like that, and a murder happens. So it's like a murder mystery. It's Tiffany Haddish is in it. It is really, really good and really funny. And I thought it was actually on HBO Max, but no, it is on Apple TV, and it has been real good. So,
hey, look at that! We got more comments coming in.
We got all kinds of comments.
Our buddy Andrew.
Smith. Yeah, Andrew's going to Gamma. He's going to be doing what we wish we were doing. So
right.
Working our way through here. All Creatures Great and Small and His Dark Materials. I don't know that.
It's good. Dark Materials I've heard of, but I have not been watching.
I've heard of that one. So, and then Hank with MASH.
With the throwback, yeah.
Going back, yeah.
So mine it's just started. There's 6 episodes in. It's kind of a British comedy lean. So if you dig British comedy, but it's pirate themed. It's called Our Flag Means Death. It is hilarious. It's got a ton of comedians in it. That I don't want to spoil like the characters that come up, but like a lot of big name comedians are playing smaller parts in it, and it's been really enjoyable. He's the gentleman pirate. He's a kind of a gentleman guy who decides to take on the pirate life. It's pretty fun.
That's cool. That's
awesome.
Cool. It looks really good.
HBO.
Yeah.
Cool. Very
cool. That's one of those things. I thought After Party was on HBO, and that's why I was like, well, I'm not going to get to watch it. But yeah, so I actually do want to watch this. So I need to bum somebody's HBO Max. I need them to come over and log in.
Shared accounts. That's how it works.
Yeah. Come sit on my couch for a couple hours while we watch this. So, yeah. So cool.
Well, our next question's about it's kind of leaning into card games, but for me personally, I got into the hobby really by playing CCGs or trading card games. In high school, I played Magic, and I'm not as old as Ryan, of course, but older.
I am younger than you.
I know, that's why I said, but older.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I was playing.
I thought you were saying I'm older.
I know, I took the little turn, little twist.
There we go.
But I was playing Magic, and some of the cards I've got now, I go back and go, holy cow, these are worth some money. So I kind of said, what's your favorite trading card or CCG game? And even though Magic has been in my life in and out for years, for me personally, it's Dice Masters. And Dice Masters, for those that kind of know our Game of Sidekick story, part of the reason we have the sidekicks is that's the logo that's on the pawn die or the starter dice for Dice Masters. So it's brought a lot of amazing people into my life. It's been just an amazing blessing. And even though it's not what we normally play still, and I don't play at a competitive level like I used to, it's still going to be one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. What CCG did you get into, Kristi?
So I'm a little late to the game in that realm. I never grew up. Sorry, I just saw that.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, that's from our account. It's not from me, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Bob.
Sure. But yeah, I'm not one that grew up playing Magic. I was introduced to it a few years back, and it caused a lot of arguing. So because it took me forever to read like all the information on the cards, there's a lot to read. I'm not used to that world. And then it was just at the beginning of this year or last year that I started playing again, and you can see other side, the two big boxes there, totally full of Magic cards. I'm back in it. And no more arguing. I'm understanding and actually beating people, but don't challenge me because I will lose to you guys.
It's awesome. Funny. That's great. So I got into Magic when I was in high school, and around that time, I was playing Magic a lot in high school, and then around that time, the Star Wars CCG came out. It was probably only 4 or 5 years that one was around, but it was really, really well done. You had these planets, you had the planets laid out almost like you can travel from planet to planet. It had a really cool theme to it, and I really loved like playing that with my friends. Even after school, we would go up to the local comic shop, and it was called the Book House, and we would sit there and play that for hours. And so that still has a fond place in my heart, where Magic, I played that a long time, and then when I got out, I was like, I have money all of a sudden. This is weird. It's almost like I got instantly rich.
Well,
so that's why I never went back to it.
There's the big three for CCGs. Everything else, the average age, I remember when we were deep in Dice Masters, it lasted more than 3 years. And they said if it lasts more than 3 years, it's got legs. And it's Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything else comes and goes.
Yeah.
But those are the big guys. Epic's that's a good point too. Epic's more of an LCG, right? Because everything's.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but still a really good alternative to Magic and not as expensive.
Yeah, at the pace that Magic expansions are coming out, it's unsustainable if you have any desire to anything else with your life, like buying a house.
It's like eat.
It's like I may have to skip a couple meals this month, so I need that box. So, Isaac, you had a question about what's one of your favorite games to play with a deck of 52 regular playing cards.
Yeah, I can't find the deck of cards I just got in the mail. I backed Beth Sobel's art 52 deck cards, which is gorgeous. Beth is my favorite artist. My dream is to have a original piece of her artwork at some point. But just a regular deck of playing cards. Like we had a gaming weekend a couple weeks ago, and there was a handful of guys who aren't big gamers, and they just said, "Hey, does anybody got cards?" Because there's lots of things you can do with that, right?
Absolutely.
And for me, growing up here in the Midwest, it's 2 games. It was euchre and spades, and I always purposely I don't know how to play euchre. I purposely chose not to learn it because it was always, we just need one more. And I didn't want to have to be drug into games I don't want to play.
Yeah.
So Spades was a game we'd play a ton. I loved playing. I mean, just a very simple trump, right? Trick taking game. That's just, it's a ton of fun. And the basis of so many other things we're going to talk about today.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Kristi.
agree on that one too, because Hearts was always on our table. That's the one we always went towards. But I think my favorite would be the classic Texas Hold'em. I love me some poker. I like betting. I love all of that.
Awesome.
I also have two others that I wanted to mention, if that's okay.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of outside of the realm of some of the standard kind of things that you think about with a regular deck of cards, and one is called I Doubt It. I don't know if anybody's played it, but basically you deal out the entire deck to everybody and you look at your hand and you say, okay, you put in the middle, this is 3 3s. And if anybody doesn't believe you, then they say, I doubt it. And whoever was right or wrong takes the cards. So first person to, I think it's to lose all your cards wins.
Okay,
so
cool.
Bluffing, like kind of cool game, just called I Doubt It, played with regular cards. And then another one that actually I hold dearly to my heart because it was with, we would play it all the time growing up, was Egyptian Rat Screw. I think it has a better, more PC kind of name now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's been called so many different things.
Yeah.
BS affectionately.
Yeah. We would play that constantly.
That's cool.
And I have a really hard memory with that one because the only person who ever even like could challenge me and be any good is unfortunately no longer with us. So it's really holds dear to my heart. So
yeah, that's really good.
An awesome bluffing game.
Yeah. My grandmother taught me 500 rummy when I was younger, and I used to love playing rummy with my grandma, and so that's a memory that I love. And it's rummy is just such a quick and easy game. It's such a fun game to just trying to collect sets and runs, and just it's really good, and it translates to so many other things. There's a lady that we know that has taught us this. I forget what it's called, but it's a take on rummy. It's using 2 or 3 decks, and it's just it's based in the world of rummy and like just those standards, but there's all this building on it, which is really fun. And there's like a list of like, this is what this does and this is what this does. It's a lot of fun. So
nice.
but just traditional rummy, love it. So
cool.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Bob's got
what now?
That was almost on my list. Rummy.
Yeah. Yep. Rummy's good. So
Bob had Up and Down the Road, which I'm not familiar with.
Up and Down
that
the
one.
Road. I don't know that one. Yeah.
Must be a Philly thing.
There we go. We so one of the things, if you haven't seen it, it was a couple years ago. All the years and months merged together. It's been 17 years since we last saw each other.
Oh my gosh.
It just Shut Up and Sit Down, I think maybe it was last year, did a couple video series where it was just games that you could play with 52 card decks, and it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Cool series. So you can go back and look that one up. So
cool.
Yeah. And then we kind of talked about this a little, Isaac. Favorite memory with a card game.
Yeah, I think we're kind of hitting on some of those stuff that we've hit into. For me, when you talk about like a 52 deck of cards, especially senior year, right? And so I'm going back pre-smartphones, when you were bored in class. I had a deck of cards always with me, and we'd play a lot of War because it's stupid and it's fun. And I would take the War deck and I would customize, like all of my friends had a card. So like the Jack of Spades was this kid, and the 4 of Hearts was that kid, and like you'd see it come out like, oh, I grabbed the Jeff card, and so it became kind of a fun. I still have it hidden away somewhere, but
that's cool.
It's just like games are that. I mean, we've talked about it here, right? They're that social lubricant. They're the thing that drives the social fun, and there's so much around card games because they're easy, right? They're quick, they're easy. A lot of the games we're going to talk about today are ones that some of them Bob introduced me to, because when we go to cons, you want something quick and easy that as many people can play as possible, right? And that's a change for me, because con was always for me like, bring the Lacerdas. We're sitting down for 3 hours, right? And now there's a lot of people I want to play games with, and so this makes it a lot easier for that.
Absolutely. So, what about you, Kristi? A memory around a card game?
Well, okay. This is gonna sound weird, and I don't think my mom will appreciate it, but my mom is
even better to share.
Yes,
no, I'm just playing.
My mom is like my idol. I adore her. She's the nicest woman. She's the most sarcastic, crazy person ever. And I remember on vacation once, we were. God, I can't believe I'm saying it. We were all staying, me and my mom and my dad, in the same hotel room, and my dad was sleeping. And so instead of being loud and playing cards at the table, we decided to go in the bathroom, and we played with the toilet seat down.
There we go.
We called it toilet time, and forevermore, like, if we didn't want to disturb anybody, we would play cards on the toilet.
That's really good.
Gross, but like, yeah. And I know she's gonna watch this. I'm gonna get a little for that one.
Getting some toilet time. So no, that's what we need to play anytime we got a 2-player card game. Toilet time.
Toilet time.
Yeah. Mondo, what is up, sir?
Hey, one of my favorite guys to play games with at a con.
Absolutely.
Mondo.
One of my memories, I'm actually going to change my memory from what I had in the show notes. I remember taking when I learned how to play blackjack when I was a kid. I remember taking decks of cards over to my friend's house, and they had a bar area. Our house didn't have that, so they had the countertop bar, and we would have a dealer on one side where the drawers were, and then we had people come up to the bar, and we would just throw change at each other. It's just like we're playing 21. We're playing like we're in some kind of weird casino where like their mom is cooking behind us. It was a lot of fun playing blackjack at their little bar area and losing a ton of pennies and nickels. So always losing a lot. So
we got a lot of gambling and favoritism in the group here. I did write that down in our notes so we can talk about best games with betting in them.
Okay. Yeah, we need to do that sometime. So a card game. So this is funny. A card game that you wanted to like, but it just didn't hit the mark for you. I'm going to start with that one because I have very strong opinions on this one. And most people who have seen me play this game, I do not like 10 from AEG. It is not a great game. I've played it 3 times. I've tried to like it. I've heard other people tell me why they like it and why I should like it, and I don't like it, and I don't think it's good. So
it was in my short pile over here of good games.
Short pile of crap.
Oh, wow. I wanted this to be like a games you wanted to like but didn't hit the mark.
No, I just like it's everywhere and people are playing it. And I'm just like, why?
What didn't you like about it, out of curiosity?
I just didn't like the whole thing. Like, I know somebody told me, they were like, did you play by the wrong rules? I was like, no, I played by the right rules. Well, let me teach it to you. Okay, you teach it to me. Nope, still don't like it.
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's fine.
Not everything's going to hit the mark, right? And it shouldn't have to.
So it's fine. Whatever. So I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest. It's been weighing on me.
That's fair. So that's fair.
Yeah.
I got a fellow Lacerda fan in the comments, so
let's see here.
Edward there.
Typically,
let's bring out the Lacerdas. But Texas Hold'em, yeah. I mean, just we don't play enough of that kind of stuff. Just getting around, putting some betting up. Oh man, Bob's all over you today.
He is. He's just ripping at me.
With friends like
not
that.
Awful. Come on.
Kristi, do you have a game that you wanted to like, a card game that just didn't hit the mark for you?
So something I've tried to hold to is if I buy or acquire any game that I don't like, I immediately donate it. And so I basically almost immediately forget. So what I did was, I went through my collection and I found this game. It's not donated, so there is something to it, but it's called Go Fish Yourself.
Oh, Go Fish Yourself.
Fun. Yeah. So, growing up, I always liked the like fun little games where it's like you have to keep your finger on your nose and your sunglasses on. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy ones. But this one, just some of the things that were in the cards and the art on it, I just didn't like. There were other games that were like that were just so much better. But the reason I still keep it in my collection is because I have a decent amount of friends that still love these types of games. And because it's so small, it's easy to travel with.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep a copy. I'm not going to keep a copy of 10 around for my friends. So they can buy their own copies.
There's definitely a constant culling of games, but there's some I keep around because, like you said, other people like them, and I know they'll want to play them. A lot of my party games are like that. For a while, I just was like, I don't want party games, and I realized I need to buy these party games. And I've started going back, getting more classic games too, so that I have categories, so that I have games that like people may want to play that I have no interest in, but if we have a big game night, somebody else may.
Yep.
I have my card game that first came to mind. It's funny though, because you talk about like things you forget about. One of the earliest Kickstarter campaigns I did was for Burger Time, the card game. Burger Time is my all-time favorite.
Oh, yeah.
And that game is horrendous. Like, it's a horrible card game. But I kept it because I love the art. I love the characters. I played it a couple times and was like, no. But this is one I was super excited about. Demoed it at Origins. Enjoyed playing it because Mike, who was with Next Move Plan B at the time, loved it so much. But once we actually started playing it, it just didn't hit the mark for me. And that's 5211. Now I have friends that do like this.
I really like
I keep it around.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell flat for me. I think the cards, although they're pretty, are too busy. And that was kind of part of some of the takeaway. And like you, Ryan, we've talked about this before. If Erin likes the game, you like it. If she doesn't like it, it's probably not going to get played as much.
Yeah.
My wife didn't care for this one as much. And there's hundreds of other games she does like. So it went right to the bottom of the pile real quick. So
I've got two copies. I've got 2 copies of 5211.
You have the Azul
copy. Yeah. I bought that one for $5 at a flea market. But that one's one that I actually really enjoyed, but the further I get away from it, and the less people who know how to play it, the harder it is to teach. I taught my in-laws that one time, and they just stared at me for like 5 minutes straight. And they were like, what do you want me to do?
I'll see if Jason's saying the Azul is the good one. So maybe that's the one I need to try.
The cards are better, yes.
Yeah, because this artwork is, although it's kind of cool, it's almost like, oh, okay, calm down a little bit.
Do you know what though? I think there's a psychology behind that. I think like the artwork, and I've thought about this actually because I had a problem with how busy the artwork was. But then when you think about it, it is very hard to look across the cards that have been played and get a quick count of
very hard.
And I think that's why the cards are like that. Like they're like busy abstract paintings.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
and they're
fair.
really, but I think that's the reason why the art is like that, because I've never been in a situation where I can just glance at the table and know what I should play. I have to actively like, okay, that's that, you know. So
that's fair. That's fair. Yep. All right, we on to our top 5s.
Actually, we're going to talk about Twin Palms.
Oh,
so
perfect.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Kristi. So Twin Palms, this is a game that I got to play this on BGA just recently, a couple weeks ago when the Kickstarter launched. We had a couple people telling us that Twin Palms was really, really good trick-taking game, and we had to try it. So we actually played it on BGA to try it out, and really, really love it. It is a simple but complex trick-taking game where you're playing 2 cards at one time, which is something that I hadn't seen before, but I really, really love. So tell us about Twin Palms.
Sure. So Twin Palms came about. I actually don't know the years, and I need to figure this out because people have asked me, but I approximate it at about 6 years ago. I had an idea, and it was my mom was in the room, and we just started brainstorming together. And within 24 hours, we had the first prototype made.
Nice.
And just to let you know, I'm sure everyone here knows this, but I always want to make it clear. Card sleeves are your friends. I did not know about card sleeves when I was making this. So we took normal decks of cards and 3M printer paper and we're just sticking and sticking and sticking forever.
Yeah.
So we were doing that, and it went around the convention circuit. It did all of that, got a lot of attention. People liked it. And then just a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, it was actually my mom. We were playing for I don't know how many at the time. And she was looking at her sand dollars that she had collected, their points in the game. And all of a sudden she was like, I want to bet. I want to bet that I'm going to hit my exact bid. And she was like, can I? And I was like, yeah, Mom, you're feisty. Sure. And then wait, hold on, light bulb. Let's add that to the game.
Yeah.
So, it's come a long ways. The main part of the game, how you play, the mechanics, haven't changed since that first day, which is really surprising for me. A little tweaking on scores and that kind of stuff. But yeah, is a beautiful card game. The other thing that I wanted to do is make it so that almost any level player could play it. So it actually comes with 4 different modes. So you have easy mode, you only play with 1 suit. You have normal mode, playing with 2 suits, and then advanced and extreme.
Yep. That's awesome.
The easy mode, the good part about this is if you're trying to teach someone a trick-taking game that doesn't understand trick-taking, this will help them understand trick-taking. Other than that, it's primarily just used when playing with like kids.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. It's 1 suit. You either win the trick or you don't. So
yeah.
Only can play with 2 players. So I really wanted a game that could grow with you. And then if you come in at a higher level, you can jump straight to advanced or even extreme. Yeah. And then with the betting, it's completely optional. So if you are playing with somebody who doesn't, like to gamble or that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of flexibility in the game. And that was really important to me.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I love it. I've had a chance to play on BGA probably about 4 or 5 times. Derek was over Spotlight. His first one got us playing it. First game of it, I won, so I'm pretty proud of that.
There you
go. But in the middle of the game, for those of us that was new, like we were all going over as I started getting the Kickstarter alerts, like backed. I backed it immediately, shared it on all of our, our groups. But I love trick taking games. I love I love betting. Like we just got done talking about that too, and like the smash up of those. And I love how tight it is because there's not a lot of leeway in the decision making, which I love.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I love the fact that playing 2 cards at the same time. One thing I noticed I was trying to think through the process of playing 2 cards versus 1 card in a trick taking game. And when you're playing 2 cards, you have a lot more control on your end as to whether or not you want to win it. That's one of the things that I noticed, that I can intentionally pair the 2 worst pairings of cards to make sure that I don't win it, and you have a little more control. And I like that. I like that a lot, and so Twin Palms is really, really good.
Awesome. Thanks. If you don't mind, I want to do a shout out to the illustrator. His name was Eric Hebler. I personally absolutely adore his work. And he did Twin Palms even better than I could have ever imagined.
Nice.
Just to show you some of the I'm good on live. That's up to him.
I'm gonna
he just nailed it. Anything that I was asking for, he was right there for. Trying to put it in front of my face, but also not.
Yeah, the card artwork's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's light. Like, was it always beach palm themed from the get-go for you?
So the best way to answer that is I have always been beach themed. So it's a like me in a box kind of thing.
That's awesome.
Actually, the color palette kind of came from my last apartment in the last house in Florida. It was literally the whole color scheme was turquoise, yellow, and like pinks. So. And the amount of like clothing that I have that has to do with, palm trees and sunglasses. I own too many sunglasses. Like it's a lot of me in there.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah, there you got a backer. Jason just backed it. I just got the alert on my phone. So
nice.
Yay!
It's such a good game. So if you are a fan of card games, if you're a fan of trick taking, if you're just getting into trick taking, I know Skull King was a big entry point for a lot of my friends for understanding trick taking from a mechanics standpoint. But this is just really good. So, and it is one of those casual games that you're going to sit there and play, and then you'll be like, okay, cool. Somebody's dipping out, somebody else is jumping in. It's definitely it's one of those games that I wish I had this summer going into having a more normal summer where we get to see people. So
so I didn't realize that ties cancel each other out.
Yes.
Right? And I tied with Derek to hose Bob over in the last game we played. Like I wasn't trying. I was so out of it by the last round. And I was like, what happens if I tie this guy? He's like, oh, Bob takes a suit and then he loses. I'm like, tie.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
But I love games that let you get that little you know, I'm gonna get you right here.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got a couple of those on our list that have that little bit of, you know, oomph to them. I don't want to play that for 3 hours, but for a 15, 20-minute card game and everybody can have a good time and get up from the table and laugh about it. Like those
Absolutely.
oh man, did you see that moments are priceless in games.
Yeah. Actually, that one, with that rule of the tying, I had a legitimate flip the table moment.
Oh, really?
I was showing my dad the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we played it, and my mom and I tied each other and gave it to him. And he doesn't curse. He cursed. There was a little physical trying to flip the table, but it was a huge dining room table.
That's funny.
Couldn't do it. Left and was like, "This is the worst game ever."
That's funny. That's really good.
Nothing like that extra support there, right? You're like, this is gonna work.
Is that a box quote thoe? Is that on the back? Dad.
Worst game ever, Dad.
Worst game ever. Oh man, that would have been so good.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I would have just off that endorsement. My dad thinks it's the worst game ever. I'd be like, my dad probably would too. I'm going to buy this game.
I'm going to make him. I'm going to make him play it.
Yeah, I'm going to make him play it. I almost made my dad play Arboretum one time. Oh, that would have gone so poorly. So, anyway, speaking of card games that my dad doesn't want to play, let's talk about card games that we like to play.
What a segue. What a segue.
Yeah. So we've each got 5 card games that we think you should own in your collection. So we'll start with number 5 on our list and break our way down. And of course, as always, anytime we do these top 5 lists or whatever, if you're in the comments and you want to throw your number 5, number 4, all that, we will post it up on the screen. So I'll go with my number 5. It's a hidden gem. It was in our hidden gem show a couple months ago. I don't know when we did it. Time doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome. Change Up. This is a game from Famine Studios or Famine Entertainment. Nobody knows about this game, but it is really, really good. Think of 3-card Monty, where you have these 3 cards that are shuffling back and forth, and you're trying to keep your eye on the one that you want to pick. That's basically what this is with 5 cards. There are 5 cards in the middle of the table. It's a 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you want to know when it comes around to the end of the round and you pick your card, you want to pick the highest card at the table. Throughout the game, players are playing cards to switch the order, and nobody knows what is on the other side of that card unless you pay close attention. Change Up is one of those games that we got for review, and it surprised me so much. We played it like 9 times in a weekend. So Change Up, awesome. Really good. If you have never heard of it, you haven't, just go get it. So,
Kristi, what do you got for your number 5?
All right, so I didn't know we were going in reverse order. So my number 5.
Oh, sorry.
Is...
We just do whatever here.
Yeah.
It's going to be my surprise one because it's not. It's technically a card game. It literally says fast-paced card game on the cover of it. So I think it qualifies. It's called Word Around. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. They came out with the original, and then behind me, you can see there's a second one as well.
Nice.
It's really unique. So, and I didn't set this up in any way, shape, or form. So the back of each of the cards is one of 3 colors: blue, black,
Okay.
and red. And then, so you'll have a stack, you flip it over, and then whatever the back of the stack is, which would be black, you'd be looking at the black here and
Okay.
try to find the word. See if it's there.
Okay.
Is it all the letters?
Yes, and in order.
Oh, I'm so bad at word games.
I'm bad at words.
Burasum, Messarabber, Bur.
That's for me to do.
Wow. It's a single word though.
Yep.
Wow. And it goes clockwise, right?
Yep.
Somebody's got to have it. It's not us.
Yeah.
I can't believe I don't have it. Nope. I'm usually super undefeated in this game.
Mess.
Wow, this is rough. If you got it,
I feel like it's got to be the S's or the R's that split.
I feel like
right?
it's the R
Or it starts with a vowel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Jason got it. Yeah,
Embarrassed.
I am. And I am.
Nice.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
We are
So-
all embarrassed at our
Good job, Jason.
So
I'm extra embarrassed on that one. So yeah, that's Word Around. I love
nice.
it.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
We've played it so many times, and in the second version, so in this one, we mixed them. Actually, I can give you an example. In the original version, it's always going to have black on the outside, then red, then blue. In the other, they change up the colors to make it a little more challenging, so your eyes don't know where to go exactly again.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I forgot we mixed the sets. So
Nice. That's cool. Word
That's
Around.
fun.
You're
Word
number
Around.
5. All right.
Jason gets the prize
Jason.
for getting it.
50 points to Jason.
Yep. Game chat official merchandise if we ever do it.
Yeah, 50 points. You can turn them in when you leave the building. So.
All right, so I'm gonna start. I've got like 20 games over here. So first I'm gonna go with is one of my favorite 2-player card-based games. Art by Dutre, design by Eisner. Canopy
Canopy's
is
real good.
a gorgeous game. It is. I mean, the art that Vincent did on this thing is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple 2-player push and pull game where it's kind of an I split you choose, right? You're adding to piles and you pick a pile and then you're set collecting these cards, which it plays that type of theme better than I've seen a 2-player game ever do that with. And I'm partial to Eisner Brothers work, especially Tim does remarkable games. And this one is no exception, published through his self-publishing group, just recently fulfilled from Kickstarter. Actually, I just got this copy very recent. So Canopy is my number 5.
Really good. So
Bob dropping in the Twin Palms comment there.
Yep, Twin Palms, ridiculously good. There's a quote for you.
Oh, thank you.
We got any number 5s in the
My
comment?
number
Nope.
4 is Bugs on Rugs. This was a Sushi Go killer for me. Bugs on Rugs is from Kids Table Board Gaming. These cute little bugs. My oldest daughter, who's 18, always laughs at this little, whatever it is, that little larva.
Ant.
So
Bug.
it's that little larva that is being cradled by the ladybug. She laughs every time it comes out. Bugs on Rugs, you're trying to collect sets of bugs, and people are doing a draft from the middle of the table. The bugs are in a circle and you're drafting a bug at a time, doing a snake draft, so it's going to come back around. And you're matching the back. The bugs are on rugs, obviously, and the rug colors matter for certain point scoring things. You've got mosquitoes, which in sets of 2 are wild. It's just a really cool game. There are I love the fact that the spider eats the fly. So for the spider to count at all, you have to have a fly so that you can sacrifice this fly for the spider to count. So it's really, really well done. Bugs on Rugs, beautiful artwork from Kids Table Board Games.
Very nice.
Number
Kristi,
4 for you, Kristi.
No, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to grab it. It was very interesting hearing you talk about that one.
It's a fun one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just
Kids
like,
Table stuff is solid.
Okay, so this one is mainly cards. So if it disqualifies because there's a dice, it's push. So when I was looking at this list of 5, I was trying to envision not necessarily the best games I've had, but the best experiences I've had.
Yep.
And this one is always a winner with almost any like non-super heavy gamer.
Yeah.
I play with my mom probably, oh my gosh, I don't even know how many times. I played with so many different people, so much. But I love this one. It makes the table a lot, makes to the table a lot.
Yeah.
It's literally doing what the name of it is. You're pushing your luck. You're putting, you either have to have different numbers or different colors into 3 piles. You get to take a pile, and then the other people in order take theirs. There's also reverses like in Uno, so swap that around.
Nice.
And then you can also lose with the black cards, and that's where the dice come in. So if this disqualifies because of dice, my backup is Illusion. It's another one that, a little non-gamey, but the idea behind the concept or the behind this game, I just had never seen anything like it when I first got it. That you're trying to guess the percentages of like how much
the color percentage, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So you'd be trying to put them in order, like which one has more blue.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then at any point in time, someone can say, and I don't know what the buzzword is, but like, no, I think it's wrong. Then you flip the cards over and they actually give the percentages of what the colors are. So it's a game, again, that like I travel with a lot. It's easy to play. And it causes attention too, because people look at it and like, that's not what a card is supposed to look like. So.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's my
own. I've only seen that one. I've never actually played that one. I've played Push though. Actually, Bob introduced me to Push. I played that with my son. We were early to a convention a couple of years ago, and Bob was like, "Let's play Push," and he taught it to us, and we both loved it. So it's really good.
It's awesome. Yeah, we played that at PAX, like Bob was saying with Derek, and Derek is colorblind.
Yeah.
So it's like playing crazy illusion, like because you have no idea if he sees what you think he sees. So it adds such a weird twist to the game. So my number 4 is going to be it usually is a go-to, quick, easy. We've got one more game before we finish the night, and that is the game For Sale. And For Sale is such a simple, easy bidding game. Like I love this game, right? It's just it's pure and simple, right? Yeah. I mean, we've been playing this thing for a long time, and I like this version of it better than the small deck box ones. The coins are a little flimsy. These are a little thicker cardboard, but this whole thing fits in a deck box just fine. In fact, I have it in a deck box. This is just off of the shelf with my extra games. But man, For Sale is it's just clean. Like it doesn't need to do extra stuff. I know there was a Kickstarter for expansions, I think, for it recently. I didn't even look at it. I like this version. I don't need more than what this game does. Yeah. That's cool. For Sale is always a go-to for us.
That one was just inched out of my list. I love that. I love that game. 6. And Autorama too. The new one. Yeah.
Yep. For
sure. I don't know that one. That's cool. My number 3, I don't have it. Our copy is somewhere around here in a bag somewhere. Probably Fuji Flush. This is a game that Bob taught me years ago, back when we were playing games during lunch at our job. And Fuji Flush is a cool number game where we have some really cool memories about Fuji Flush. Actually, a couple that we're really close to, they actually got engaged. The night that they got engaged at our house, but it was a total surprise because they thought they were coming over for a game night. We taught everybody how to play Fuji Flush, and so it was. So the game kind of exists in this special memory for this couple, which is really neat.
It's awesome.
Great game. Great game to play at a convention. So
would have been my number 1 if it wasn't on your list already. I can't get over how much we've played this game since Bob taught it to us. At PAX.
Our cards
last year.
That's the thing. Our cards look like garbage because we play it so much.
Hasn't been published for a number of years. You can still find it, but 3 to 8 players. We got it on eBay for less than $20, and it's so good for especially that big 8-player game of this. It moves so fast.
I'm probably going to pick up if I see it on a store shelf at some point. traveling, I might pick up a copy and just save it so that when our copy does eventually
Sleeve
clear,
it.
sleeve it. Yeah. So
That's what Kristi said.
Hard sleeves save lives. That's my
Hard-
statement for
there we
today.
go. There we go. So Kristi, what's your number 3?
All right. My number 3 actually goes back to when I was a teacher. Again, I was trying to think of different games that, that are playable with the people that I play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an old copy. Even the plastic is broken. Everything's broken. But the card game Set.
Yep.
So it's really, let's see. It's good in an educational setting, but it's also good in just a general casual, let's play a quick game, like 5 minutes.
Sure.
Those people are good. Basically, every card has different, let's see. So there's different, 3 different colors, different amounts. I'm not good at this. Jeez, someone give me a lesson. I'm like left, right, right, left. Okay, there's colors, there's shading, there's numbers, and there's shape. And to get a set, to get a set, I guess I could just do less of them. You would have to find something that either the 3 cards, because you're going to put it out in a grid on the table. The 3 cards are either all have the same or all different in all 4 categories.
Okay.
So, when I was teaching, I actually said to my students, if anyone can beat me, they will get extra credit. And students would come in during their lunch breaks, during, like all these different times a day. They would play. I would set aside time in class. And I am a true believer, just like my mom is, you never let anybody win. So no kid ever beat me. And this was middle school.
That's cool.
I was going to ask what grade. So
yeah, I just learned it that year. So I was like, someone's going to beat me, right?
It's awesome.
That's good.
Got to put the challenge out. Throw the gauntlet down.
Yeah, Set is actually really good. I've actually thought about redoing this list, but a couple of years ago, I published a list of games that you can play that are not language dependent. So because we have friends that may not speak the English language, and you want to still sit down and play a game, and so it's easy to get something like Set on the table because there's no language barrier to it, and you can actually just describe the cards and what you have to do just with general interaction. So it's a really solid one. So
perfect. So number 3, I don't really have these in any particular order of, like you said, just kind of 5 games, right? And we already talked about this one, but this is the quintessential trick taker. This is Skull King. I mean, I don't know what hasn't been said about this on this show. We've talked about Skull King. It's so good. It's so stinking good.
That's right.
I can't. This is my 3rd copy. I know Bob's gone through like 50 copies of this game. You guys just eat this game up, right? When you're together at work. I have yet to introduce this to anybody who is like, that's just not a good game. And I love the new stuff. I love the whale. I love the Kraken. I could play without the pirate abilities. Sometimes we leave those out. I mean, Bob seems to think you have to have them, but I don't think you have.
We use that only when people know the game. So
17 decks. That's insane.
That's
sleeve your cards, Bob. Sleeve your cards.
Just sleeve your cards. You wouldn't have to buy it so many times. So Bob Kroll keeping Grandpa Beck's games alive
single-handedly. And Grandpa Beck's 1-800 or his phone number in there that he says, text me if you have a question.
Have you ever done it?
Oh, I 100% did. When I first got this game, I had a question. It was New Year's Eve. We were playing this thing. And he texted me back, wished me a happy New Year's Eve, asked me for a picture of everybody playing. He's like, I'm so excited to see my game on the table. Like
That's awesome.
That whole family are great.
I called him. I was like, hey, leaving him a message. I was like, hey, we want to give this to our Patreon backers. We work out a deal. And so they were super kind and generous, and we were able to give copies of Skull King to our Patreon backers this past summer. So
that's awesome. Great gift.
Great.
Great gift.
Next up, we are still on the topic of pirates. We're talking about Port Royal. This is one of my favorite pressure luck games. This is one that we teach non-gamers all the time. Port Royal, I don't know that this is my favorite version of it, but it's a version of it. It's changed publishers a couple times, and the artwork's changed over time. This one is the one with the realistic pirate artwork on the outside and the cartoon pirate work on the inside. Artwork on the inside. So it makes no sense. You open the box, you're like, did I get the wrong game? But funny. Anyway, this is a really fun pressure luck game. I love the fact that the game's constantly shifting because the money on the backside of the card is what you use for money. So those cards are now out of the rotation until you spend them. And it just completely skews what is available and what's going to be shown. It's a great game, great design. Really enjoy Port Royal, and this is actually one of my son's favorite games. So
it's awesome. Number two
for me is Wizard. 100%. It is one of my favorite trick-taking games, and I think that comes with all of the memories of playing it countless times since I was a kid. I could only find the medieval version at my house. I assume the other versions, the dark blue cover, is at my mom's house. But basically, it's a trick-taking game where each round, in the first round, you're only going to play one card. The second round, you're going to play, 2 rounds. So then you'll play 2 cards, 1 per round. Third, fourth, fifth. And it scales up really nicely too. The score sheet shows how it plays up to 6. Yep. So however many rounds you do per player count. And then we have a house rule that even in a 3-player game, we never go past 10. Holding 20 cards was just always so annoying for us. I think since I was in grade school, it was always, we just played to 10. That's it. No more. Yep. But that one really, really holds a warm place in my heart.
Nice. Wizard is actually one of the ones that people have said Skull King and Wizard are so similar.
Okay.
Yep.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, I haven't played Wizard either, but somebody was telling me that the root of Skull King was probably based in Wizard. So
yeah, I would guess the same.
Yeah. So Isaac, what you got for number 2?
Number 2, I am going to go with kind of, again, a quintessential game. I got it in a deck box, carried around wherever.
10, if you say 10, I'm coming straight to Ohio.
It is 10.
No,
it's Point Salad. What a good game. I'll play this all the time. It's a beer and pretzels game, right? It's my wife and I took a trip to Nashville in the fall for our anniversary. I took just a couple of games with me. This is when we took into a cidery, like a brewery, but they just made cider. Is awesome. And we played 6 games of this, and it was simple, easy. We could play. I always, regardless of the player count, play with the full deck. It's a lot more fun. It is crazy at 2 players playing with a full deck. The scores are outrageous.
Scores are 300 points. It's what?
But it's just so much easier than trying to separate cards out. Just play with them all. Yeah. The game goes a little bit longer, not that much longer. But I love it. It's cool. Again, that's a display box. It's on a shelf in the basement, but it's always ready to go. I love Point Salad.
That's awesome. Yeah, Point Salad was actually on my short list. We actually taught some friends of ours who are leaving the country. They're going to the Philippines shortly. And so we taught them that the other night and just kept playing over and over. It was really fun. So, all right, my number 1 card game. This is a card game because there's no board or anything, just some tokens. Buried Treasure. This one is beautiful. I love it. It actually, I'm starting to regret not having it on my top 10 list for 2021 because it was published in December. It is a fantastic game. I might have to cheat and put this on my 2022 list and have an asterisk, some sort of HGH situation, going on there. But anyway, Buried Treasure is excellent game. This one is what I'm so impressed with about it is that it plays so well at 2 players. Even though it can go up to 5 players, the rules change slightly and the layout of the board changes in a way that is conducive to just 2 players playing.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I love the theme of pies and the fact that the paws on the cards are called grabby paws. That is the greatest term in the word.
Look at you on Pie Day with the pie game.
Yeah, man.
Look
Pie Day,
how
pie game.
How thematic you are.
Do it.
Come on.
So,
yeah, it's so much fun. It
is so good.
I demoed it at PAX just walking by. I was like, I'll try that. I got 10 minutes to kill. And I was like, oh my gosh, why do I need this game like right now?
So good.
And introduced everybody at PAX. Everyone who played it loved it. It's cutthroat, but it's short cutthroat, right?
Yeah.
We get it.
I taught people how to play it at Tantrum Con. They loved it. So
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy that one. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. just here to make people spend money. That's all we're here for.
Fair.
That's
fair.
It's called the Consumerism Podcast.
Yeah, that's what we do. Kristi, what you got?
For your number one?
All right, I have a number 1 and a 1.5. Originally, it was a tie, but 1 is just my number one will never go away, I don't think. And it's not Twin Palms, but Twin Palms would make my top 5, but I tried not to like shove it in.
That's fair.
My 1.5, my little runner up to 1 is Shards of Infinity. I'm a huge deck builder fan. Huge. Love it. It's one of my favorite mechanics. Shards is just way up there. It comes to the table more often in my household than almost anything else.
Nice.
Just adore it. Can't get enough of it. And I also play it on my phone every single day.
Okay.
So it had to make a number 1, number 2 appearance. So 1.5.
For sure.
And then my number 1 is Dominion by far.
Nice. Okay.
And all of the expansions.
Everything.
All of it. Put all of it.
7,000 cards of Dominion.
Yeah. We have about half of the expansions in physical form. But that's another one I play every day on Dominion.games. And they came out with a new expansion not too long ago too. So learning that and having fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, Dominion's solid. It's one of our first, past Catan games that we got. And I remember we got the big box edition. And I remember getting it from Amazon and opening it and going, what the heck? There's all these cards in here. What am I supposed to do with this game?
Cards.
I closed the box and put it back on the shelf. And I was like, can we play Catan? I know how to play that. and that's where I started learning about like how to play videos and, and some of these different people that were doing that stuff. So, but yeah, such solid picks, both of those.
That's funny you say that, if you don't mind, really quick. We were playing, Catan and Dominion hand in hand with like the more gamery side of my family. And then I met my now husband, and he came over and we played a game of Dominion, and he bought the chapel, he got the chapel, and we're like, why would you ever take that? What's the point? And this I'm talking about, like when we were playing it, it was years and years and years ago. And he showed us, so you can get rid of cards. And my entire family was like, why would you ever want to get rid of cards? That doesn't make sense.
That's
and it was
funny.
like, in that moment, it was like, oh, we've been playing this completely wrong for years.
That's great.
None of us saw the magic until he had to
funny.
go,
That's
and
awesome.
That's really good.
Dumb people. It's just, we didn't know.
That's really funny.
My fifth one, my number 1, I wanted to put Century Spice Road. It's my wife's favorite, all-time favorite game, but I felt like it was a little bit more than just cards. So I went with this game we've talked about on the show. It was my number 11 of 2021, might move up. I know half of our family plays games. I know Starla loves this game, is Enchanted Plumes. I've talked about this game numerous times on here from Calliope Games. So stinking good. 2 to 6 players. The art's beautiful, right? You're making these peacock feathers, these giant peacock plumes.
Cool.
And it's easy, right? It's portable. The feathers are gorgeous. Again, it's in that like 2 to 6 player range. My wife and I can play this just as easy as I can with 2 other couples, and we love this game. We played it a couple times this weekend, and awesome. It's just such a solid, simple game that doesn't have a lot of frills, right? You play the card game, you lay it out, and that's what I love about these small box card games is, we're gonna go on vacation in a couple weeks, and we're going somewhere where we won't have a lot of table space or suitcase space, and I'm gonna grab things like that, like 6 Nimit, like No Thanks, because those are easy to travel with.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's one that we saw.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There you go. That's one that we saw.
Yeah, same.
We saw it on the table all over the place at Tantrum Con. So
Oh yeah,
Enchanted Blooms. Yeah. So
beautiful game.
cool. So we're gonna end the show, but let's do one thing that we're playing now. So this way we're around an hour. So
Yeah, we're
we are
hitting it.
playing Founders of Teotihuacan.
Solid game.
Is really, really good. We're doing this as a review, board and dice, and this I like City of Gods, the original. Really good, really solid game, but I like this a lot. So this is far more accessible, I think, than a lot of the other games in the series. And I think this one is one that I could teach a family member or somebody who doesn't game very often, and they could easily say, "Yeah, I would play that again." So.
And it's different, right? It's not like the other Teo games. It's not a dice placement game.
It isn't. No.
It's a polyomino game with some tight placement and resource management.
And it's a polyomino game that doesn't require you to fill the space. The first time I played it, I had to tell myself every single turn, don't just fill the space.
Yep.
That's not the point of the game.
Yeah, you'll lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's tight. It's thinkier than I thought it would be.
Yes. So what about you, Kristi?
I'll go run and get it.
All right. Okay. I'll do mine while she's grabbing hers.
Okay.
So mine, also from Board and Dice, is Origins. Origins is another one we'll be doing some content on here real soon. This one is a dice placement game. There's rotations, some of the things that Teo's doing. But it's kind of an early look at humanity thing. And the coolest part on this thing is it's got these wheels that spin up. So you place a die, let's say you place a 4 worker, and the wheel clicks forward to a 5, to a 6, and it resets to 1. So your placement in certain areas is dependent on who's been there or who's moving those and the actions you can take. And it's super solid. We learned it, and it was one that when everybody learned it the first time, we said, rack it up. Let's do it again immediately and play it. So we had a lot of fun. Tony's in the comments, he had a chance to play it with us with a big gaming weekend a couple weeks ago. It was super solid.
Nice.
All right, Kristi, what do you got?
What you been playing?
I wasn't planned for this one.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. So we already own St. Petersburg, the original or original-ish. And I just scored on eBay last week the bigger, badder, supposedly better version. We actually haven't cracked it open yet. And part of the reason we really wanted to play it is St. Petersburg is one of our favorite games, one of my favorite games. I love it. It's just thinky enough. Like you can still like casually play, and then if you just mess up, well, you're not gonna win, but that's okay. You just play again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're excited to actually open this. My husband just went to Gamma, so when he gets back. And then the other one that we actually have been playing is the newer Crew. So with
the C one.
So
that's cool.
And that's been really fun too. So but I was really excited about St. Petersburg, so I wanted to run and get it. And the other thing we were thinking of is, since it's out of print, taking St. Petersburg and changing it to a Florida theme, because I used to live in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Nice.
So that's just awesome. Totally do a retheme and make it very tropical.
Yeah.
You like?
Fits for you. That's awesome.
That would be really cool. That's awesome.
So we'll see if his game company can do that.
Very cool. So recapping Twin Palms, it's on Kickstarter right now. You've got 7 days to get in there, get this taking game. It is very, very good. The artwork is beautiful. It's a beach theme. I'm not a fan of the beach, but I would play this all day. So I don't like sand. To my knowledge, this Kickstarter has no sand in the box.
Nope.
So it's safe for all you people who don't like sand like myself.
That's hilarious.
So you can purchase it without getting sandy. So
listen to all these comments you can put on the box. Like, your dad hates it, Ryan. I hate the beach, but I love this game. Like,
hey, I've said it before. I hate fishing, but Cold Water Crown is like my jam. So it is real good. Anyway, you can find us at One Board Family all over the place, oneboardfamily.com. Tomorrow, hopefully, I think it'll go tomorrow morning, Key to the Kingdom did my review for Key of the Kingdom, new restoration game brought back from 1990. So a lot of family fun in that box.
Gosh, that's over 30 years ago. What the heck?
Yeah, I know. That's yeah, that's a lot. So,
Yikes.
what about you? Where can people find you?
Yeah, all the fun spots: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. On our page, I just put out a review today, actually, for this way. For Libertalia, the new Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. I compared it to the original. What's new? What's different? Should you back this or should you buy this? Depending on what you're looking for from the original or from this one. So I gave some good feedback. I've had a chance to play that about 8 times now, so got a good handle on it.
That's awesome. And if you haven't seen it already, in the comments and in the show notes, we've got the link to the Kickstarter. Kristi, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We really appreciate it. And we love that you're in this space creating awesome card games for people to enjoy.
So. And I really appreciate y'all having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, this was
absolutely.
A lot of fun.
Thank you so much. So, all right, that'll do it. And we'll see you. Actually, we're going to have a show next week. We're going to record one more show.
Bonus.
Bonus show next week. So we will see you again next Monday night. And so until then, we'll see you later. Bye.
See you, everybody. Bye-bye.